Ben & Jerry's is getting roasted online for tweeting what some are calling an anti-American 4th of July message. Here's what they wrote. This 4th of July, it's high time we recognize that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Are we all supposed to be going back to Europe? That's my question, everybody. Okay.
Wow.
The company claims parades, barbecues, and fireworks distract from this, quote, essential truth about this nation's birth.
Ben & Jerry's has been a very silly company for a very long time. It's run by a bunch of idiot communists who all they do is virtue signal and sell overpriced ice cream. But this time, the wokeness has come to bite them in the ass. On the 4th of July, Ben & Jerry's decided to come out against the existence of the United States of America, when they tweeted this, that America was built on stolen lands that need to be returned to their rightful owners. First of all, every nation that has ever existed began off of the end of another. In addition, the Native Americans also fought wars against each other in which they conquered the lands of other Native Americans. So America won and became the greatest country in the history of the world. Get over it. But in addition to their British parent company Unilever losing $2.5 billion in market cap since they tweeted that, don't ask them about their history of stealing lands. The tribal leaders who used to exist on the land where Ben & Jerry's headquarters are located in Burlington, Vermont, have now come out and said they want Ben & Jerry's to give them back that land.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about a woke backfire. And this woke backfire is pretty sweet, okay? And no pun intended here. As we're talking about Ben & Jerry's, okay? Ben & Jerry's ice cream, who has been a extremely woke company, okay? They've been woke for a long, long, long time. And they decided to put out a woke tweet on 4th of July talking about Mount Rushmore, claiming how it is stolen land. Okay, we stole the land from the natives. Now, I've done videos about Mount Rushmore and the natives and this idea that the land is stolen. Jalen Rose, who got fired from ESPN, was talking about it. He put out a video about it. Okay, he ended up getting fired, right? So again, there's a whole lot of people that's upset about Mount Rushmore and how the land is allegedly stolen from the natives. And Ben & Jerry's tweeted about that, okay? They put out a tweet talking about how the land is stolen, okay? They demand that the land be given back to the natives. And that tweet backfired because, one, you had calls for boycotts, okay? People were like, hey, we want to boycott Ben & Jerry's because they're out here, you know, putting out woke tweets demanding that we return quote-unquote stolen land. But the most epic backfire here is the fact that the natives themselves have come out and called out Ben & Jerry's on their hypocrisy of stolen land or returning stolen land, because apparently their headquarters in Vermont is built on stolen indigenous land, okay? And the tribal chief, Don Stevens, has come out and basically asked Ben & Jerry's to return the stolen land in which their headquarters is on back to the Native Americans if they're really about that life, okay? If they really want to return stolen property, stolen land to Native Americans, then they should start by doing so with their headquarters. Take a look.
Declared the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. Our next guest says Ben & Jerry's should be the first to give up their headquarters on his tribe's land. Chief of the Nulhegan Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, Don Stevens, joins us now. Chief Stevens, thank you very much for being here. So first off, just to get the facts straight, you can confirm that your tribe previously had been in control of the land where Ben & Jerry's has its headquarters today.
Yes, Vermont is part of the Western Abenaki territories, and there are 4 state-recognized tribes located in Vermont right now. So it is the home of all 4 of our nations.
Have they made any statements in the past? Have you had any communication with them that they acknowledge this and, based on their public stance, think they should do something about it?
I have not been in direct communication with Ben & Jerry's, but I'm always open to any sort of correspondence or communication to figure out the purpose behind the tweet and how we could work together to uplift our community.
So do you think Ben & Jerry's is just interested in talking about other lands like Mount Rushmore and disputed places and not about their own backyard? I mean, what does it say to you about their stance that they're willing to, they want everyone else to give it up, but don't look in our backyard?
Well, I can't read their mind, Pete. So I think the best way is for Ben and Jerry's to reach out, contact us as the state recognized Abenaki tribes in our homeland and where their factories and headquarters sit, and have a conversation. And if they're willing to work with us and help uplift our people, then I'm there for the conversation. But we haven't had any contact yet.
Yeah, of course not, right? Of course you haven't had any contact with Ben and Jerry's because they're not interested in giving back the stolen land that they currently occupy, right? They only want other people to do it, right? They want to virtue signal that, hey, we want these people to return stolen land to the Native Americans, right? While their headquarters are on quote-unquote stolen land. And it really blows my mind that they say, well, let's start with Mount Rushmore, when it's like, bro, let's start with the land that you're on, right? Your own stolen land. If there's anything that you can do about this, you can start with yourself, okay? Move your headquarters and your factories out of Burlington, Vermont, okay? Move it off of quote-unquote stolen land, okay? But they won't do it. The same way that the woke revolutionaries that denigrate our flag, that disrespect our country, disrespect our national anthem, they're not going to move to another country, right? Even though they claim they hate this country, okay? They're saying that, hey, we're slaves here. Okay, but you know, apparently, it's not so bad that they won't again go to another country. They won't move to another country since it's so terrible here. Again, it's just funny how that works. Same thing with these so-called defund the police activists, right? They want to defund the police, politicians, okay, like Cori Bush. Let's defund the police. No police for you. But yet they surround themselves with police. In fact, Cori Bush married a security guard, right? She married her security guard. Okay, she married the police, right? These same politicians that want to take away people's guns, they surround themselves with guns, right? That's what they do. Everywhere they go, they're surrounded by guns, okay? Guns that probably regular citizens can't get access to, the ones they want to ban, okay? They surround themselves with these guns. They love these guns when it comes to their own protection, right? Again, the hypocrisy of the left has no bounds. It has no bounds whatsoever. And I don't expect Ben and Jerry's to respond. They're not going to respond. They're going to ignore the native tribes, right? They're going to act like they don't exist because at the end of the day, the intention of that tweet was not to actually do anything, not to actually force any type of action or any change. The intent was simply to virtue signal, to say, hey, look, this is what we believe in, but they actually really don't believe it. They're not about that action, right? They're not about actually doing these things. But you know, hey, this is just what we call woke capitalism. That's what it is, okay? It is virtue signaling about social issues that these companies really don't give a damn about. They really don't believe in. They're only doing it because they think that it's going to help them make money. They think that telling the world that, hey, we're woke, we're progressive on social issues, come buy our ice cream, come try our product, come do whatever. They think that that is what's going to lead to a better bottom line. However, it seems to me that Ben and Jerry's is trying to end up like Bud Light, right? That's exactly what they're trying to do, okay? And if the woke revolutionaries were smart, they would boycott Ben and Jerry's over the fact that they're not actually going to give up the stolen land that their headquarters are currently on, right? On the sheer hypocrisy, they should be boycotted by woke revolutionaries, okay? Because again, they're silent. They're still silent despite the chief coming out here and saying, hey, we would like our stolen land back that your headquarters is currently on. Ben and Jerry's doesn't seem to have anything to say after they were being very loud about how we need to return stolen land. Again, it's just amazing. Okay, the hypocrisy is just incredible. Let's read here. Ben and Jerry's isn't interested in discussing returning any of its land to Native American tribes. The ice cream company chose to attack America as a country on, quote, stolen land with an Independence Day Instagram post. The company demanded land be returned to Native Americans. Again, the fact they did this on 4th of July, again, it tells you everything you need to know, right? They knew they would be controversial. They knew they would get a whole bunch of people talking about it, right? But they probably didn't know that they would be called out on their own hypocrisy and exposed, right? For, again, having their own headquarters on, quote unquote, stolen land. Well, things took an interesting twist when it was revealed Ben and Jerry's headquarters in South Burlington, Vermont is on land previously controlled by the Abenaki people, and they want it back. Nohungan band of the Kusuk Abenaki Nation chief Don Stevens told Newsweek he'd love to see the land returned to its original Native American owners. Again, it reminds me of those white liberals that want black people to get reparations, right? You can start by emptying out your own bank account, okay? If you want to give reparations to black folks, hey, you can, okay? Just empty out your own bank account first, right? Start there. Seeing how it is the stated policy of Ben & Jerry's that all, quote, stolen land should be returned, it seems obvious the woke ice cream company would immediately be in the process of handing over its headquarters and any and all land across America it has property on that has ever been controlled by Native Americans. Yeah, if they was really about that life, they would just hand over their own company, right? Just give their whole company to Native Americans, right? For free, right? Give it to them for free. Well, it looks like Ben & Jerry's is more than willing to talk the talk, but it's a different story when it comes to walk the walk. I repeatedly reached out to Ben & Jerry's to ask if there are any plans to return the land and what the timeline was for getting it done. Not a single request for comment was returned for a company that was unbelievably vocal about how horrible America is and how land must be returned. It's gone dead silent now. It's come time to pony up. Why isn't Ben & Jerry's leading the way? The company could have vacated its headquarters days ago. Demolition could already be underway, and the Abenaki people could once again control the land. The fact that Ben & Jerry's is silent shouldn't really surprise anyone. It's easy to talk a huge game. It's a lot harder to back it up. Turns out that actually ponying up and leading from the front isn't something the woke ice cream brand has any interest in. If it did, the land would already be returned. As of data from 2022, there are more than 580 Ben & Jerry's locations across America, according to entrepreneur.com. How many of them are on stolen land that has ever been controlled by Native Americans? The company has a scoop location in Minneapolis. The city of Minneapolis was also controlled by Native Americans at one point. How quickly can the location be turned over? Can it happen today? Maybe by the end of the week. After all, this is what Ben & Jerry wants, right? We're just using the standard the company endorsed to attack America. Get after it, Ben & Jerry's. There are hundreds of locations that could likely be turned over. Don't put off for tomorrow what can be done today. Leave from the front and return the land or admit you're a bunch of woke frauds. Well, I mean, we all know they're woke frauds, right? They're woke frauds. They're not going to actually give up the land. Okay, and at the end of the day, they should be called out for it, right? They should be called out. And again, if the wokes were really about their life, they would boycott Ben & Jerry's for being hypocrites, for not doing what they're demanding, which is to turn over stolen land. But like I said, this is woke capitalism. Again, these companies coming out here and virtue signaling for the bottom line without actually really caring about the causes that they claim that they care about so much. I mean, this is really par for the course. The hypocrisy of the left has no bounds. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.